I'm Carol Hoffman, and welcome to Carol's Keto cooking class. Today I'm going to show you how to make T-bone steaks using olive oil, butter, and rosemary. First of all, I'm going to season my steaks, but you need to let your steaks sit out about 15 minutes before you cook them. The reason for that is so the center of the steaks will be the same temperature as the outside and they will cook evenly. So first I'm going to season my steaks. I'm going to use the Himalayan pink salt, and I'm going to hold my hands about 12 inches above the steaks to make sure that the seasoning is evenly distributed all over it. Now I've got the ground black pepper. I don't use a lot of seasoning. I just like a little, especially if I'm using rosemary. I want to be sure that the rosemary flavor is in there. And now I'm going to turn the steaks over. And as you can see, I'm using my fingers and my hands to do this. And that being said, it means that after I've used this salt and pepper, they need to be discarded. You don't want to reuse them after you've touched raw meat. Now a little bit of black pepper. And so now I'm going to lay the steaks aside and let them sit out. And we're going to prepare to work with the rosemary. And because I've handled the raw steaks, you need to wash your hands thoroughly anytime you handle raw meat before you handle anything else. So I'm going to do that now. All right, now I'm going to show you how to work with the fresh rosemary. The fresh rosemary is so fragrant. It's going to smell delicious with the steaks. But I'm going to show you how to make some seasoned butter to go with the steaks. So what you do, you take a stem of the rosemary, you hold it by the tip, and you come down on the stem and pull all the little twigs off. And we're going to chop this up and add it to our softened butter. So when you chop this up, it really makes it more fragrant because it releases the oil as you cut it, and it makes it so much more fragrant. So I'm going to add that to our softened butter. And if you have fresh rosemary, if you have any left over, you can always freeze it. You can also cut it like I did here and put them in ice cube trays and cover it with a little bit of melted butter and olive oil. And when you freeze them in the ice cube trays, then you can pop them out and put them in a freezer bag and use them later for your other dishes. It makes a delicious seasoning. All right, so now I'm going to make our seasoned butter. So now that I've blended that really well, I'm going to use a lemon baller, and I'm going to make little scoops of butter here. And these are going to go on top of the steaks after they are done. And just to make them a little more festive, I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning to it. This is dried parsley. Just to add a little bit more color into it. And then we're going to place these in the refrigerator and let them harden. And then when the steaks are done, we're going to lay them on top of the steaks, and they're going to be delicious. All right, now we're ready to start on our steaks. So you want to get your pan very hot because you want a good sear on it. And you put a little bit of olive oil. That's to keep the butter from burning so well. But I really like a lot of butter. Hear that sizzling? That's the way you want it. You want a good hot sear on this. I think I've got enough butter in there. I'm going to just take this out so I can make sure I get a good sear on this. I don't want to have too much oil in there and not sear enough. So get that good and hot. And when you put your steaks in, you need to tilt your pan and hold your steak from the tip and lay it in from the front to the back. And that way it doesn't splatter as much on you. Yeah. And you usually sear these for about 2 minutes on each side. And you press it down because you want to make sure you get the whole flat side on there when you sear this. And we're going to add rosemary on the sides here. I'm also going to put some on the pan just to add a little more flavor to it. And also you want to turn your oven on to about 450 because we're going to bake these steaks for about anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes, depending upon how well you want them cooked. Let's see how this is doing. Wow, look at that nice sear. That looks really good. Now because I'm doing 2 steaks, I want to use my iron skillet for both of them. So if you want, you can use 2 different skillets, but I'm going to use my same skillet to cook both steaks in. Okay, I think that should be done. I'm going to put this one on the pan and then I'm going to start on my second steak. Alright, now our second steak is done and we're going to take it out and put it on the pan. And we're going to bake these uncovered for about 5 to 8 minutes, depending on how well you want them to be done. Now we're going to the oven, and we will check on these in a few minutes. Okay, while the steaks are baking, I'm going to make a side of asparagus, because you know with keto you don't have baked potatoes. So I'm going to use the olive oil again, and butter, and I'm also going to add a heaping teaspoon of garlic. Now I like garlic in my asparagus, so that's going to help flavor it a little more. So I'm going to get this nice and hot, and then I'm going to add the asparagus. We'll have a delicious side to go with this. We'll let that cook for a while the steaks are cooking. Now our steaks have come out of the oven and we're ready to plate them. Oh, don't those look good? Room for our asparagus on here. Oops. It was telling me my steaks are done. So now we're going to add our seasoned butter on top. And I think that looks very nice. And next we're going to have our steak testers test these. Okay, now for our steak testers. We have my favorite son-in-law, Bryson, and my favorite husband, John. They're going to be testing our steaks for us. So guys, dig in.
Awesome. Looks good. Really
Great.
good. Smells amazing.
So is it thumbs up or thumbs down?
Delicious. Thumbs up.
All
Two
right,
thumbs.
so now that they've tasted the steaks and they say they're good, if you enjoyed this video, please log on to my YouTube site, Carol's Keto Cooking Class. And if you have any comments or questions, please put those in the format and I'll reply as soon as I can. I would like it very much if you were to like my video and also subscribe, and we'll be having videos in the future. And also, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to clean a cast iron skillet very easily. Thank you for watching.
Carol's Keto cooking class. I like and subscribe to this steak.